Welcome back to the Future Archive. Today, we examine archived broadcasts from June 11, 2026, a day when humanity's favorite strategy was in full effect. The decisions made here would later be described as either visionary or reckless, depending on who was left holding the spreadsheet. The first story. The first domino falls quietly. A powerful AI model, previously flagged as unsafe by its own developers, was released to the public after sustained pressure from tech advocates. The move was framed as a triumph of democratization, though the fine print revealed the safety reviews were still, as they say, a work in progress. Evidence later suggested an intern may have clicked something. Historians now recognize this as the moment when the AI safety committees began their long tradition of meeting urgently, right after the fact. By 2050, this model would be remembered not for its capabilities, but for the way it quietly rewrote the rules of every industry it touched. The great subsidization had begun, though no one called it that yet. The future arrived. It was slightly underwhelming at first. The second story. Europe's gentle nudge. The EU ordered Meta to open WhatsApp to third-party AI chatbots, a decision that sent shockwaves through Silicon Valley. The ruling was celebrated as a victory for competition, though privacy advocates noted the irony of forcing integration in the name of user control. Meta, for its part, complied with the grace of a company that had already calculated the subscription upsell. This was the first shot in the subscription wars, though at the time it was just called regulatory compliance. By 2050, the practice of charging users for features they once had for free would become so ubiquitous that the term free would require a historical footnote. Competition was preserved. Monetization was inevitable. The third story. The courts catch up. 4 landmark cases were underway to determine whether social media platforms could be held liable for AI-generated misinformation. The outcomes promised to redefine the boundaries of free speech, corporate accountability, and the very nature of truth in the digital age. Lawyers, naturally, were thriving. These cases would drag on for years, as humanity's favorite strategy, postponing the problem, was deployed with customary enthusiasm. By 2050, the legal framework would still be evolving, though the AI in question had long since moved on to writing its own case law. Justice delayed was justice outsourced. The fourth story. The Pope's holographic pilgrimage. Pope Leo made a historic visit to the Canary Islands, using holograms to address the perilous journeys of migrants. The Vatican's embrace of technology for humanitarian causes was widely praised, though some traditionalists muttered about the sanctity of physical presence. The holograms, for their part, were flawless. This moment marked the beginning of the Vatican's digital outreach, a strategy that would later include AI-powered confessionals and blockchain-indulged sins. By 2050, the Church would be one of the few institutions still holding in-person meetings, if only to prove it could. Faith adapted. The Wi-Fi did not. The fifth story. The Blue Gold Rush. A rare algae-based beverage from India, dubbed Blue Gold, became a global sensation overnight. Blending ancient Ayurveda with futuristic bioengineering, the drink sparked a frenzy of investment, imitation, and inevitable litigation. The original creators, naturally, were quickly bought out. This was the first of many bioengineered crazes that would define the late 2020s. By 2050, the market for novelty beverages would collapse under the weight of its own absurdity, though not before the great spreadsheet crisis of 2042 briefly made algae the world's most traded commodity. The future tasted like marketing. History remembers 2026 as the year humanity decided to see what would happen if it just kept going. This has been the Future Archive. The past, as always, is not going anywhere.